Assalamualaikum. Today I am going to show you how you can add your Django authentication with your Flutter app. So it's straightforward. I am going to the project. To create a Django project, first you have to name your project. I will show you an example project, notepad example app. This will be our project, and I will add the project with our Flutter, and I will add authentication with Flutter. This tutorial will be special because we are not using Firebase, we are using Django backend to for our authentication. At first we will open our terminal and we will start the project using before that, make sure you have Django installed in your computer, and also have Python installed in your computer. Then install Django, and after that you can write, or you can run Django admin start project, and I will name the settings containing folder configuration, and we will use and dot to create the configuration folder in this folder. And okay, start project DJ. Okay, I make a mistake here in writing code. Start project. Okay, now it has created a configuration folder, and under the configuration folder there is a settings.py, and okay, and here there are two more files, asgi.py and wsgi.py. These files are used to host our Django app. We do not need those files, but we will use only these two files, urls.py and settings.py, for our project. And we also need another app for our authentication. We will use a custom user. Django provide and their user, but we will use, as we will use our custom user, we have to create another app, user app. Django, and now we will run python manage.py. This manage we are executing command with this manage.py, and python manage.py startup and user app. This has created our user app. Now under user app model we will import from Django .auth import models import abstract user, and we will extend the abstract user and our user from this abstract user class user, and it is extended from abstract user pass, and it is our custom user. And we can add more thing, like if we need a nickname, we can add the nickname here, and this is a char field contain characters, and we have to pass our max length. I will pass 56 or 55. Okay, and there is more thing like if you need a profile picture, you can also include profile picture here, such as profile. To include profile picture, we need to resize the profile picture. So I will use resized image. I will use an package named is a resized image, and we have to include this install this Django resized. So here you have to write pip install Django resized, and it will install the package, and it is showing me an mistake, or it could not resolve the problem because I didn't have selected the right Python interpreter here. Now it will not show the error again. Now if we can write profile picture equal resized image field, and we can upload to, it takes upload to, and here we can pass the string, and we will create a function that will may give the path of the string. Here we will return and upload to here an instant, and we will get a file name. Okay, and we will pass the upload to function here, and nullable is true and blank is also true. That means we can that means blank null means the profile picture can be null, profile picture field can be null, and the profile picture can be blank, and it is not mandatory to upload his profile picture. And we can simply write to profile picture profile slash file name, and before that we can make it a string. Okay, now we have give username, nickname and profile picture, and we can, okay, that is it. We do not need more anything else here. Now here we are going to set up our authentication. To add authentication, we will use Django REST Auth. Here you can get full documentary on REST Auth, Django REST Auth. Sorry. Now the new name of Django REST Auth is DJ REST Auth. You will get a full documentation from here, and I will provide you the link below. And to start with REST Auth, we have to go through a process. We can install this REST Auth framework, we have to use restore framework because we are using this framework to for our authentication. Here I will comment an auth apps, and here I will this framework is not auth app, it is an auth, it is RESTful app. And auth app, this token is an auth app, and DJ REST auth is an auth app. That is it. Now we can simply sign in reset password for our project. Here you can find more thing, such as you can add a social authentication, and for registration we have to also use the include these apps. And we have to provide the site ID. And we can also add a Google authentication from Flutter to Django. I will show you the authentication later, but this time I am skipping that thing, that Google authentication, because it will make the tutorial a little bit larger. So after that we can configure our authentication more, such as if we migrate our project. Okay, before that we have to use a custom user app. Okay, now we can where the user this is a user model, and we can register it in our admin. I will share to see what the admin is later, but now we are going to make our default user, set our default user on this settings path. Without setting the default user in this settings.py, we the user will Django will not use the model as the user for okay. Now so our auth user model is auth user model is user app dot user, and we have to install the user app on our installed app. So here we have to pass local app, install our user app here, and now we can migrate our project. Make python manage.py, make migrations, and we are getting an invalid. Here I have to create a virtual environment. To create virtual environment, at first you have to install an virtual env, and after that pip install virtual env, and after that you will get an virtual env to create a virtual environment. After that you can simply write python -m env, and it will create an in virtual environment named env. And after that, we can active our virtual environment by writing source env/bin/activate. For Windows, we have to write source env \scripts \activate. And now I can make migration. License manager.py make migration. Okay, I have to install the Django REST framework, and DJ REST Auth and all auth. Package not satisfied on. Okay, it is not getting all auth. In the name is Django all auth. Now we can make migration of our project. So we also need Django resized. Okay, we also need peel. We need pillow. Now we successfully make the migration of our project, and now we can migrate our project. Django successfully created a database table for our project now, and now we have to now we can run our project, but we didn't add authentication till now. To add authentication, first I will route the project to user app, and we will import include this and we will include the user app here. .urls, and we do not have any URLs file here, so we will create URLs file under the user app. And after that, we need a variable named URLs pattern on the user app URL, and it will contain paths, and so we have to import path and include also here. And now we can assign the path to the authentication and registration. And path to authentication is digirest.urls, and I will name the path is auth, and path to registration is digirest.registration.url. I will name the path to auth slash and auth slash registration slash. And now if we run the app, python manage.py run server, it will run on our server. And if we launch the server, here we are getting the path to the user app, user slash, and then we are getting a path to auth, and here we can see we can get and a lot of path login, path for login, logout, path for user details, password, and reset password, and path to registration. So if we assign here registration, I didn't use registration. Yes, this is the registration field for our app. If I show you the raw data, this is the raw data of our registration, and we can also get a sign-in endpoint for sign-in, which is called login. And we also get an endpoint for logout. This is the endpoint for our logout, and if we are logged in, it will automatically log out me from the app. Okay, and this is the for registration. We can, if we want to modify our registration app, we can modify it. And this is for login. If we like to get only email and password for authentication, we can do that. So to do that, we have to assign some variable in our settings.py. If we use these variables, I hope it will change. It didn't change, but I hope this field. Oh, okay. So to change these two fields, we can we have to change the serializer, register serializer and login serializer. And digirest give us the full documentary of it. It says that in configuration, it shows the REST auth serializer. Under REST auth serializer, there are many variables such as this is the REST auth serializer variable, and it takes an map. Here we have to pass some data, some variables. Here is login serializer. We have to pass the login serializer, and here we have to build our custom serializer. So we are going to build a custom serializer for login serializer, and we will build the serializer here. Serializers.py, and here we will import the serializer from dj-rest-auth.serializer import login serializer. Import login serializer, and we will extend our own serializer, new login serializer, from the old login serializer class. New login serializer, extend from old login serializer, and we will pass it here. And we will provide the link of this new login serializer here, and we will simply write user_app dot serializers dot new login serializer. Okay, and you can also pass an this is the login serializer, and we will still get this three field for login: username, email, password. And you can simply pass email password here, and it will not show you an error, but we want to remove this field. Okay, so here under serializer, we will take these two on, and okay, we have to remove I will copy all of this. Okay, let it go. It will be more complex to remove the username, but we can simply log in without username. So we can skip this one, but if we need and first name and last name to registration, we can customize this register serializer. To customize the register serializer, we have to use this register auth register serializer, and settings.py we will create a variable, and we'll pass register serializer here. and the register serializer is we can import this serializer from GRest or the registration dot serializers from dgrest dot registration dot serializers import register serializer, and I will extend the register serializer here. New register serializer extend from serializer and pass, and I need first name last name in our registration field, so I will use first name models dot okay sorry see from REST framework we have to import serializer. Serializers dot char field and last name max length. Okay, should we have to provide max length? No. Okay, now okay, if we refresh here, now we will get a customized registration. Okay, sorry, we didn't provide the new register serializer to our settings. And this one is user underscore app dot serializer register serializer, and it go for the register serializer. And now if I refresh, I will get this registration form which will take first name and last name. Okay, and after that it will not save first name last name by default, but by default, so we can save the first name last name using and method name custom sign up. Here this custom we can modify this custom sign up and save the first name last name of the user, and here we are getting request and user. To get first name last name, we simply get the data here request data, and here we will get the first name and serializer do all these things by itself. We do not have to write the code for these things. And now we can simply user dot save the model and it will save the first name last name of the user, and we successfully make our registration app. And with Django we also have an admin panel for free. If we run manage.py create super user, okay, sorry, we have to active our virtual environment. So create super user, and I am creating a super user. And now if I go here and go to admin panel, I will log in with my super user username and password. Here you can see now there is no user model. You can see there is a email model, token model, group model, site model, but no user model. To get user model here, I have to register the user app by model user app to the admin. So I will simply say admin.site.register the app from .model from .import model, and I'll register the models .user. And if I now refresh the admin panel, I will get the model user. Here the user model. There is only one user who is the super user. Now if I register with another email, from our register, Django will register us and give us a token. Okay. Yes, I will get. Before that, I like to mention you or remind you that we are getting a nickname of our nickname with the user. So I will also add nickname to on the serializers.char field, and sorry, I did a mistake here. The mistake is The mistake is user dot first name equal the request data the first name, and user dot last name is request data last name, and user dot nickname is equal request data nickname. And now I can save and it will work and save the data for us. Now I will refresh, and here we are getting first name, last name, nickname. So I will not provide the username, it will register me. Example email on@gmail.com, password. Simply give a example password here. And give the first name, and the first name is I will give a first, last, nick, and if I post here, unable to find unique username. Okay, but why? We have assign required I have found a solution. They said account user model username field. This one is none, and now if I try, okay, none. Now if I try again, and now it successfully sign me make me make the registration, and now we are getting a token or key for our registration. And another thing, and I have added this authentication backend line for Auth authentication backend. And now if I try to log in, to email one, or example email one @gmail.com, and email is sorry, not username it is empty, and password is and now if I log in, it is giving me and key for authentication. Now we will take this key and save it on our Dart application for authentication. This authentication is a token based authentication. To use token based authentication, you have to add the token based authentication to your authentication. To add a default authentication class, we have to add the default authentication classes to our Django REST framework. And under REST framework, the authentication classes there is provided a list of session authentication and token authentication. Session authentication used for browser authentication, and token authentication is the used for Flutter to Django authentication. So now if I have to create an Flutter app and use the authentication. I hope you will know the Flutter, so I will not show you everything on in Flutter. I will only show you how you can make authentication in Flutter with this Django app. So I will create a project. Project under Flutter practice, and stick the project Notepad frontend. Now it will create our frontend for our app. I will delete everything. State list, home, scaffold, login.dart or pages login page.dart register page.dart. we need a model, and we need an folder API. And under model we need user model, and under API you need user API under API I will create a folder auth, auth api.dart. Okay. Now user model and pages. I will collect and login page and register page for this application. I have searched for a Flutter auth page, and I have get an auth page from flutterawesome.com, and here they are providing auth page for register and login and forget password. I will use this for sign in. This is the sign in for sign in. I'll copy it and paste it on to my project, and there is an error button, so I will fix it later. I will copy the full project for sign up or register, and now we are here. They have widget and widget for field, widget jets for eld fields.dart, and they have image button and text field button. And now they also uses themes on their app, so I will also copy the theme.dart. They uses Google font, so I have to add Google font toward my dependency, and after that the text button solve is just on thing footer comment it. Okay. Image button, I have to import the theme dart. Fields dart, I have to import the theme dart also here. And footer, delete it. Now login page, delete, import theme dart, and custom field and custom button. Okay. Forget password page. Okay, forget password page is missing. Sign in page, forget password page, sign up page. Okay, just add forget password page. I will add forget password later, and I will show you how to add forget password. Just copy forget password dart. Start my emulator. Start debug. Not home, and I will provide it at register page. This building, and I have modified or customized the register page. Okay, and the register page is not mandatory. The mandatory is how you can use token for authentication here. So I think it will be better to use sign-in page and show you how to sign in. And we also need Hive to save our data, Flutter Hive. So add Flutter Hive, add dependency, Flutter Hive or Hive Flutter. It is adding the dependency Hive Flutter, and if we add a dependency, we have to rerun it, and here we have to initialize the Hive after adding the dependency and make it asynchronous. We have to import the Hive and Flutter Hive and restart it, and I will create a folder here, file constant const auth box, and this auth box is node or token box. Add token. After that, I initialize Hive and I'll open box hive.open box here in sign page when it is running. if we run, okay, unable to image folder, okay, understood. And there was an image, I didn't copy it here, but let it go, we do not need it. Login page, remove the image. But they have used the image here, so I will comment the image, and I will also comment the custom field and URLs where they use the URL address, decoration image, comment the decoration image. Okay, now it will not get image or give our image. Okay, one thing, login page container, I think we should give it an height of okay. Now if we pass right here email and password, we should have able to log in, right? Now login to, and when okay, if we log in, where we will go, we'll go to the home page. So under pages we will create and home dart stl home page, and if our login is successful, we will navigate to home page. Before that, so email, password and login. Here login page, on login page, these are the field, and we are navigate here, but we need something more, like we need to make it a stateful wizard, and we need stateful wizard, and we need a controller, text controller. Text field controller, text editing controller, email controller, text editing controller, and we also need a text editing controller, password controller, text editing controller, and this email controller, and we have to pass this controller to the custom button here, or sorry, not custom button, and this custom field, where the custom field is here, custom field, we can pass here final text editing controller, or we can make it nullable so that we will not get error for all, not email controller, only just controller. This dot controller, and it is not constant now, and now we will use this controller where the text field is here. Here is the text from field and controller, and we will pass the controller. And now if we navigate here, and we have to pass the controller email controller here, and for password controller here. And now if on submit on login, where is the login button? Custom field and password, and after that this is the login button. Okay, make it okay. Now on place, we should have on place here void callback will add, and void callback on tab. We remove comment and this dot on tab. Okay, and now we'll pass the on tab here, login on tab. It is the not constant now. Okay, on tab we will do something. When we'll give it an email and password, and it is tapping here, it should log in to our to the app. So what it will do, it will navigate to home page. Okay, what is the error? Okay, it will navigate to home page and app bar. What is the problem here? Is there another home page? Okay, nice. They can't import this home page. Okay. Okay, this is the home page, and when we are logged in, we will navigate to the home page, and now here under API auth API, we'll create a function for user auth asynchronous. It will take email, password, and both are string, and it is a return future, because and we have to add another dependency view. We have to add dependency HTTP, and as we have added another dependency, we have to stop the debug and rerun it. here we will import the HTTP. Import package http dart as http, and now we will make a post request http dot post, okay, or post or get post. I hope that post, and the URL is, this is the login URL. This is login URL, and method is post, and URL equal var URL equal var URL equal URI dot parse the link, and it will get a response. Res equal, it is also var, and we can print res dot body dot we have to await for the response here, and now we can get a response body and print the what response we are getting from the authentication. Where is login page? Before auth, we will get await for auth, and here we will pass email and password, email controller dot text and password controller dot text. And if we now write email and password, email is example 1 at the rate of gmail.com. Password is 1 G P T U Z 6 E. Login. The error is because the localhost is not localhost. Here the localhost is 10.0.2.2. Just want to copy the email and username. Okay. Now as a now again, if I request here, it should work. Bad request, why? Okay, we have to add on settings.py inside allow host, we will pass everything is allow. Now if we request again bad request, but why? This time bad request because I think it will print something. Password field is required. Oh, okay. I did a big mistake. I forgot to add body. Map body equal, and this body, inside this body it will take two things. It will take email and password. If I can show you raw data, username, email, password. This is the body part of the post request. Here username, email, password. We will pass email and password, and we will not pass username. I'm not sure now, but we have to pass the body inside this post, body, and now we will get, I hope we will get something. Here we are getting key, right? And we have to save this key on our local database. So here inside user model we have to name a user class, and here we will pass a string, nullable string, token, and we will pass string username, and we will pass nothing. We can pass many things, but we can also pass email. But none of them are mandatory. Everything is optional. Okay, now we have to use save the user on our, whenever we are getting a token key, if the response is, we can print the response code. Okay, body res dot status code. So when the response is success, we are getting 2000. So if the res dot status code is equal 2000, and if the response code is 2000, if the response is 2000, we will save the token. We response.body, we will decode this body and get a map JSON is JSON decode res.body, and get a JSON. From this JSON we will get a token equal JSON, and under JSON we will get this key, and this key is the token, and we will save the token, and we will await for hive. We will have hive dot open box. We will box, the box name is auth box, or the box name is on the constant here in the inside the consist token box. Okay, box name is token box, and we have to import the token box from constant, and we have opened the token box, and we'll get a var box, and box dot set, or what we have, box dot add, or box dot get, or box dot put key and value. So key is token and value is key is token and value is token. So we have put the token inside our value and we are getting an user, not user. Okay, now if the status code is 2000, now we can get an user with our key. Okay, here if I can show you, here you can see we can get user from user/auth/users. So auth/user, if we here pass another user, we will get an user detail. Here you can see we are getting an user detail, first name, last name in username. Okay, we can and we are also getting an primary key. So pk, first name, last name, and username. We need to get the user and save to our app so that we can know that we are authenticate int id and yes int id and another thing is, okay, we'll save this or first name and last name, first underscore name, last underscore name, and we'll save this to user. So we need to add and constructor first name, this dot last name, and this dot id and this dot username. Okay, and we have to pass the data here. So this is the endpoint for user. We can simply write here on Auth API get user. Here we have to pass string token and URL var URL equal URI dot parse this endpoint, and we will make and const base URL equal, this is the base URL, and we will pass this base URL here. Base URL / user / auth. This is the path, and we have to request the http dot, and this request is and get request http dot get URL, and we have to pass an header. Inside this header we have to pass authentication token. So how we will pass the authentication token? If we simply request here, we will get an error message. If I show you async await var res equal this, and response is equal this, and print res dot body, or print and again print res dot status code. And if we request get user here, and pass token. Wait, and if I try to log in, here you can see authentication credential are not provided when we are trying to get our user details. So what we have to pass here, we have to pass the token inside this header so that our user get an authentication or user get verified. So we can pass authentication inside this header by curly brace and pass the authentication token equal token, and if now we request or try to log in, we'll get an user data. You can see pk, we are getting this data when we are getting user under so we are getting if I just show you, we are getting this map, and we need user from this map. So how we can get user from this map? We will create a constructor which will convert this map inside into and give us an user. So we'll move to user model, and we'll write that factory user dot from JSON. Here we will pass this JSON. Suppose we will pass this JSON, and we will get and return an user, and we will pass email, first name, ID, last name, and username. Okay, so username is and to get the user email from JSON, we have to pass email, and to get first name JSON first underscore name. To get ID, we have to write JSON pk. To get last name, JSON last underscore name, and to get username, JSON username. Okay, and one thing remains, it is token. We will assign token to the user from this field. Here now where is the API? Auth API. This is the auth API.dart, and here get user, we're getting this body response.body, and this we have to decode it, this JSON decode res.body. This is the response of the user detail, and we will write this is the JSON var JSON equal, and this when the status code is 2000, if the status code is equal 2000, we'll get this JSON, and we'll get user dot from JSON. Okay, user dot from JSON, we'll get JSON, and then we will read also user assign token. Okay, we will make an user variable, user is equal user, and then we will also make user dot token is equal token, and then we will return user, and so this will return future of user, and not all time user. when it will get an error, it will return only and null, else it will return null or nothing like that. And if we get any error, we have to provide the message here. So we will pass here future of dynamic. It will dynamic, and we will return if the status is 2000. We will return here we will get user here, user as we are getting user here. I hope we will get we will not get nullable user, but and we will return user. And else we will return message or a string. So here we can get a response, error response, when we were trying to log in with wrong or without password, email and password. Here you can see if we can also give message from if else JSON decode it. We can decode, and after that we can write JSON dot contain key if the content key is email, and this means it content key to get an email. This means it will and if this is containing an email, this means an error related to email. And if the it is an error related to email, we can return this JSON email, and it will provide a list of error, but we will pass only and singular. We will pass only an single error first, and if it contains and password, we will password related error will provide the password related error. And if it is an we print JSON, and if it is an credential related error, okay, suppose we provide him an wrong credential, non-field error, unable to log in with a big okay, non-field error. And now we are getting error. So if we are getting an error, we will show this error to our user model. So when we are logging in, where the login page is, this is the login page, and we are getting the auth. It is dynamic. Suppose it is var auth result, and if auth result dot runtime type is equal string. If this is the this is an string, we will show dialog. Here we will pass a context and return and dialog, and this dialog contain child, and child will text and text of authors, and we'll wrap it inside a container which will decorate the container with decoration box decoration. We can give a container height of 100 and width of 200, or okay. Now if we try to log in, unable to log in with the provided credential, we are getting this error, and we have to adjust alignment center. Okay, we are getting the error from Django to Flutter. That is great. And if we give an password related error, suppose if we do not provide him an password, it will give me this field may not be blank. This is great. And again, if we pass the password and log in, we'll get an user P T U Z 6 E. Okay, now we are getting a user, and else if auth res dot runtime type is equal user so it is getting an user, and if it is getting an user, we have to save the user and navigate to the home page, and user data to navigate to the home page. So how we can save the user and provide the user to everywhere to our app? So to provide the user everywhere inside our app, we can use a block provider. This I like to take help of this block provider, and it uses a very simple, okay, sorry, not block provider, qubit or block. Try to get qubit. Or Flutter block. Okay, this contains the qubit. Yes, this contains the qubit, and we will pass using this qubit inside here. Under user model, we will create an not model, we will create, okay, user qubit bit.dart. Inside here we will name this user qubit and import. Okay, sorry, we didn't add the dependency flutter block. Add dependency flutter block tar underscore block. Okay, now we can import this qubit. This is a qubit of int. I will say this is qubit of user, and now I will not pass any super. I will not pass any of them, but it is getting error, so pass here. Okay, now and I have to do another thing, and that is we have to wrap the home page with block provider, and yes, login page with block provider. So here inside main.dart we will wrap with visit, and this is a block provider. We have to import the block provider, and we have to pass the user qubit. So create what? Create this context, and we will pass user qubit. Now it is it want an user, so we'll pass an user just like that, and it will not log. It will give, and this user have nothing. Have his token is null, his user is null, his email is null. So this user have nothing. But when we are signing in here, when we are getting an user, we will access getting an user as response, auth response. We will get the constant of user qubit, and we'll emit the user as login. Constant context will import not counter qubit. We have built user qubit. Okay, import user qubit, and read is from flutter block qubit dot, and the thing is, okay, we have to call it, and then dot emit the auth response, but or user equal auth response, and we have to emit this new user here, and this user has everything, user details. And if we want to show the user details on home page, we will get user details, and after that, if it is and user, that means it is we have successfully logged in. And if we successfully log it in and we get to our home page, we'll get the user. Okay, so if we log in, where is the username and email? If we log in, now, we'll navigate to our home page. So this is the home page, and we need to access the user here. To access the user, we will simply use the previous way to access the user. This is the way to access the user. not this counter qubit, user qubit. So we are getting user from user and dot state. Okay, now this is the user, and if I name home of user dot home of user dot first name, hence where is it? It should this is stateless widget. That is why. What is the error? Okay, the error is after adding block provider we didn't restart the debug again, so we have to restart the debug. Now if I log in, what is it? Will context doesn't include the provider. Okay, why? Okay, we passed the provider wrong place. This is not the actual path for block provider. The real path is stop the debug and wrap the material app with block provider, and here create the app and pass the user. User qubit and pass the user. This is the actual. Now I hope it will work. And now if I log in, you can see we have successfully login, and it is showing us home of fast, and actually this fast is the name of the user we created with. No, we are navigated to home after the successful sign in. Where is the home? This is the home page, and here the first is actually the first name, and space dot use if we pass user dot last, or space user dot last. Here see, and we also have user token with us, and with the help of user token we can get data like the user data, and I will show the next things later. That is all now for our registration. Yes, registration, I will show you registration later. This is all for this day. Now I will show you more on next day. Assalamu alaikum.